What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. I want to focus on what Dany Heatley's future in the game of hockey holds and my thoughts on, Mr. Heatley's career as it is right now. Right now, not what it was, 6, 7 years ago. First of all, I was a huge Dany Heatley fan. I remember the first year we had satellite TV at my house. He was a Wisconsin Badger. I used to watch those games with my dad, and I used to play the point in the power play, and he was electric. He was awesome. Then I remember when with Atlanta, and then I saw him play with Ottawa a few times against the Bruins, and obviously he had the horrific accident in Atlanta. That I'm not gonna bring that up. That was an awful thing. That, a young man's dead because of it. But you look at what Heatley's been since the trade to Minnesota. Obviously, it was a unmitigated disaster, the trade from Ottawa to San Jose. It was agreed upon with Edmonton. That didn't go through. San Jose got him from Mahalik and Chichu, I believe. And then, then later on, it gets flopped to Minnesota for Havlat. And, that deal really has been, kind of sour for both teams. But you look what Heatley's done this year, and, it's disheartening. He's got 24 points through 59 games. And he's not that old. He's 33. I mean, he's I believe 11 years younger than Timu. So, and I think any one of a number of things can be attributed. I know Heatley's actually well liked by many of his teammates, which I'm not gonna say I was shocked, but I think I'm just so used to that parody account on Twitter, hashtag 1506, hashtag 1507, that I kind of lose sight of Dany Heatley, the real life person. But again, it's tough to see a guy you watch as a kid, kind of deteriorating before your eyes. And Minnesota should have amnestied him, but they couldn't because he had a shoulder. He was on the injured list, so that kind of threw a wrench in everyone's plans. And I think that probably would have been the best deal for everyone. Minnesota held on to Tom Gilbert, so we would have had another defenseman back there to eat some minutes. And then, Minnesota would have had room for a younger forward to get more ice time right off the bat coming into the season, and then Heatley would have the chance to sign wherever he wanted. He didn't have a bad year last year. He had, pull it up right now. He's got, I think, 20-something points in 36 games, so it wasn't atrocious. It could have been better, but, you look at Heatley, I just think of what could have been with him, and I'm not just saying, again, the Atlanta. Instead of talking about where he was with Ottawa, I remember I was watching a game against the Bruins back in, like, 06 or 07. Cam Toivonen was in net for the Bruins. That's all I need to know. Puck was laying in the crease, and Heatley just whacked it in, and my dad said, he's going to score 600 goals, and that was just the easiest one right there. And, I thought for sure, 600 goals, 600 assists, whatever, 1,300 points, first ballot Hall of Famer, but, it hasn't been the case. Last year he had 21 points in 36 games. This year he has 24 points in 59 games. So last year wasn't great, but, since he got to Minnesota, it's been awful. Since he left Ottawa, I should say, one good year in San Jose. He had 82 points in 82 games, and then hasn't done too much since then. I think it's 70 points next year, 64 the next year in San Jose. And his playoff numbers, again, leave a lot to be desired. Actually, his playoff numbers aren't that bad. 57 points in 66 games. But, again, there was another thing in the 2012 offseason. Supposedly, there was a deal on the table, him for Paul Martin, straight up. Minnesota probably should have pursued that. I think Pittsburgh, they didn't, because Paul Martin's played some amazing hockey the last couple of years. But, just stuff like that. And what does it hold long term for Heatley, his future? I think, obviously, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Minnesota won't re-sign him. I think he's going to end up... I think Heatley thinks he's going to get, a 1-year, make-good, $1.5 million deal from, the Bruins, Kings, or Penguins. Ducks, one of those teams. But I think in the reality of the situation is he's going to end up with the Florida Panthers or... some outfit like that. I don't think he's going to be, on a contending team next year. But, we'll see what happens. Unless Crosby or someone, one of those aforementioned great teams goes to bat for him. Well, I mean, LA could get scoring from wherever, and who knows, maybe a Hollywood revival for Mr. Heatley is in line. Anyway, that's on this episode of The Power Play with CJ on Dany Heatley's future in the game of hockey, current and future status in the game of hockey. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.